Hi guys, I just wanted to apologize for my dark message that I posted yesterday. That was so unlike me and I'm a little embarrassed. I just kind of want to delete it off my page, but I've just kind of been reading all the sweet comments and seeing how many friends and family that I truly have that care, and it just really touches my heart. You know, sometimes when you're going through something really, really hard, it helps to know that you have people that care. And I am really grateful that you guys took my message that way, because I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, I am kind of shocked that I posted it. I've been in a really dark place this week for probably since September. I've been having issues with one of my children, and then as a result, I've been at the hospital with my dad, and I'm going to try really hard not to cry. My dad's really special to me, and I absolutely just love him, and to not be able to say anything about what's going on has been really, really hard. They are very private people, and I kind of just couldn't keep it in yesterday when I made a post. But anyways, my dad's in the hospital right now, and he has got heart failure. His heart is running at 20% right now. He's got congestive heart failure, and he's got AFib where his heart's not beating. So in the midst of helping my mom, because my mom is kind of, what's the nice word to say it? Like, she's in a lot of pain and she can barely walk. Her hip's really bad. And so she's really, really needed that extra help. So I have been there 24 hours a day, pretty much. My husband's been taking care of my kids, bless his heart. But on top of that, it's been tough because my kids are being really difficult, all three of them right now. My husband went to parent-teacher conferences yesterday while I was at the hospital, called to tell me that my daughter is a bully and that she's failing in school and that she's really mean to other kids. And this is like news to me. I had no idea that my 7-year-old was such a snotty little person at school, and that the teacher doesn't think that she thinks she has a learning disability, and she doesn't think she'll make it to second grade. So hearing that on top of things just kind of like made me blow, because then you have my son, and I'm not here to complain, guys. I'm just kind of giving you guys an update of what's going on, because I've had a lot of messages of people asking, and so I figured this would be easy to just get it to everybody. But then you have my son, who is being really, really, really mean, and has been for months and months and months. Don't know what's going on, but my life has been counseling, us having to go to the doctors to figure out if they have a learning disability, and it's hard when doctors aren't able to tell you. And then you have my oldest, who is basically kind of in the same position. So I have all three kids. I've been working my butt off to try and get them being able to learn so that they don't struggle, and trying to get a 504 in place for kids with disabilities hasn't been easy. So anyways, not to give you my sob story, one of my kids threw milk on the floor. My youngest, she just threw it on the floor, threw the trash on the floor, and my husband and I just lost it, because dealing with that is hard enough, and that's what my life has been 24/7, is counseling appointments, spending $600-700 a week in counseling appointments. Then, we don't have insurance, and so going to the doctors and spending $200 a visit for them to try and figure out what your child has with learning disability, it's getting kind of, stressful. And my husband's had some things with some employees going on, and so I'm just like, I need a trip. And then on top of that, all of a sudden, my mom tells me that my dad is having heart problems. Little did we know how serious it was until Tuesday. We went in for just a regular appointment, like an EKG, and then to to put a tube down his throat to see what's going on with his heart, to see if he had any blood clots. And then if he didn't have blood clots, then they would be able to shock his heart. But if he did have blood clots, they couldn't shock it, because then they'd send the blood clots up to his brain and the rest of his body and kill him. So that was really scary. So I told my mom, I'll come here. She kind of expected that it's possible they might admit him. Neither one of us really realized how bad things were going to get. And my mom just cannot move. Like, she cannot walk. She has bone on bone in her hips and nothing to hold her leg up. So I knew that there was no way that she would be able to do this by herself. And I just figured, you know what? My parents have been so good to me. They've taken care of me. I've got to be there for them. So my husband's been really awesome to take care of everything at home. And especially with the kids being absolutely awful. I mean, I love my kids, don't get me wrong, but since September, it's been, like last night, I just did not feel like being a mom. And anyways, so they did that test. They tried to do shock therapy on my dad's heart and to put it back into rhythm, because AFib is where your heart is beating irregular. It's either too fast or it's too slow. Well, my dad's heart is beating too fast, and the muscles in his heart is really, I think that's what it's called, is really, really weak. And so his heart's functioning. They said Friday it was at 25%, and now it's down to 20%. So obviously it's declining really, really fast. My dad's been having breathing problems and faint spells and stuff like that, and just really, really struggling. So finally they got him in, and the doctor said, you know, it's a dang good thing that you got him in, because he's at high risk for stroke and heart attack. And they're surprised he hasn't had that with where he's at right now. Anyways, so we had that done, and the shock therapy on his heart did not keep it in place, so it was beating the same. And so we were just so sad. The doctor comes in and says, it's a miracle your dad's still alive. Hearing that was really upsetting, because to me, I'm only 33. I don't want to lose my dad yet, right? Anyways, so then the days went on and things got worse. Things got harder. His heart rate was going up into the 140s with just him laying there. It's all over the place. He's needed oxygen. He couldn't breathe, because there's just so much water around his heart. Good news is they've put him on Lasix, and so that is helping his body to release water. A few things they're thinking of doing right now is they've got him on tons and tons of medication to try and help slow his heart down, with it working too fast and it only having the function ability of 20%. It could be really bad. They're thinking of letting him home today, which really terrifies me, because I still think he's in a place where he's not as stable as he should be enough for my mom, who's not completely capable of taking care of him at home. So anyways, those are some things for us to think about what to do. I'm headed to the hospital now. And we just appreciate all your prayers. I apologize for my message yesterday. To answer Kay's message on why do I think they have learning disabilities. My husband and I have ADD. My daughter was just diagnosed with ADD. My son was diagnosed with ADD. And the only one that hasn't been is my youngest. She can't read. She's in first grade. She can't write. She doesn't listen. She acts out in school. Like, all those things, kind of because of all the diagnoses we've had, has put them in the ADD category. I'm hoping she's not dyslexic. If you guys have any suggestions on which direction I can go with my 7-year-old on that, it would really help me and save me money, because taking the kids in over and over and over again to not get necessarily an answer on what I'm supposed to do makes it really hard. The teacher says absolutely not does she think she is ready for second grade. So I've never been told that with a child before. I have my daughter that's going to high school this year, and she's got D's and F's. So part of it is a trauma that's going on in our family. Part of it is the learning disabilities. There's been high depression with my daughter, so she's in EMDR therapy. I don't know. I can't seem to feel like I'm going in any different correct decisions that I'm making lately. Like, nothing I'm doing right now seems to affect them. I've given them schedules, I've given them routines, I've given them love, extra time spent with them, and they just seem to really struggle emotionally. So I'm sure right now it's even up more because my husband and I, and all the uncertainty of what's going on and the fear of grandpa and everything. But this has been going on for months, and I think I've just kind of avoided it, hoping it would get better on its own, and it hasn't. And so, you just have those days where all of a sudden things just kind of fall on you and finally get to you. You've been strong for a long period of time, and then after a while, something big enough that happens, like what's going on with my dad and the fear of losing him and my mom having to be alone, just kind of popped that bubble for me. So I just wanted to come on and give you guys the update of what's going on, why I just can't keep up right now. But you know what? I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for what we have. I'm grateful for the time that we've had with my parents. This has been an amazing time to become closer to them, be able to serve them and help them. I'm really grateful for the miracles that God has given my dad, and all the love and support that we've had from everybody on Facebook. I mean, I have more love and support from people on Facebook than what I was hoping to. Anyways, that's another thing. But yeah, so I love my family and friends, and I'm so grateful for all of you guys, and I'll keep you guys updated. Fingers crossed that the doctors will come in and see some great improvement. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. Sorry, let me back up just real quick. So as of right now, they're going to have him on all those medications, the diuretics, to try and release more water from his heart. He lost 9 pounds of water yesterday and 3 this morning. And then he is going to stay on those medications. They say it's going to take about 3 months for them to hopefully see some sort of a difference, which is kind of frightening because he's still in the range of heart attack and stroke. The weird thing that I don't think I'm too excited about, this doctor saying it's different than the other. We have had not good nurses the first couple nights with his insulin and giving him medication that he's allergic to, not pain. Oh, that was scary. So we've had to be extra vigilant and staying by his side to make sure that they're not giving him the wrong things, and that they're actually giving him his insulin, because my mom had to give him his own because they were like, oh, we lost the order and we don't know what's going on with it. It's like, seriously? But the one doctor that I'm not super excited about said that, yeah, he should be able to just go home and be able to do his normal routines. What do you think about that with someone at 20% with their heart? I don't think that is a great idea to just tell somebody they can go and exercise and do, as hard of work as they were before. Because that's kind of what's gotten him in the direction that he's gotten in. But what do I know, right? So if it doesn't work, or then they'll stay on the medication. If it's gone down, if things have gotten a little bit better with his heart, less water and things like that, then they will try the shock therapy again to try and get his heart back in rhythm. If that doesn't work, then we're looking towards surgery and putting a pacemaker in. So we'll kind of see what the next 3 months gives us, and we'll see when they release him from the hospital, and see what the doctors will say today, because they should have put him in the hospital Friday when he got all that scary news about heart attack and stuff. So I don't know, we'll just keep praying, and please keep us in your prayers, and we're just hanging on there. But I apologize for my negative post. Oh my gosh, I just want to take it down. But anyways, love you guys. Thanks so much for all your support and your friendship and your love and your kind words. We really appreciate it, and I'll keep you guys updated.